Hey everyone, how's it going? So last time we made a good start on the styling of this post form. It looks a lot better already. We're going to continue with this. We've got two elements left to do, the text area and the submit button. So yeah, let's go ahead and work on that. So I'm going to go back to my style sheet. No, I'm not. I'll go back to my inspector tools, my dev tools. And I'm going to go down to the bottom of my main.css file, and I'm going to continue styling it from here. So the next thing we want to do is style the text area container, which is this element right here, the one that surrounds the text area and the post form. So in here, we're going to write dot text area container, and then we'll start by giving this a flex of 1. And I thought that would take up all the width. Why has that not worked? So let me go back to here and see what we've got. Is the parent set as display flex? Let me check. Yeah, that's display flex. Text area. Oh, actually, no, this is right. So I was wondering why the text area didn't fill up all the width, but that's fine. It's not supposed to. It's a text area container which fills up the width, which it has done. I can see if I hover over it, you can see it extends all the way to here. So that's actually okay. So go back to here. Flex 1 is fine. It makes it take up all the remaining width. And that's kind of where the flexible display is good. It allows you to say to an element, take up any remaining space you have. That's what's good about the flex box display. We've essentially just said that this profile picture will take up a certain size, so I think it was like 50 pixels, and then we've said that this container here will just take up everything else that you have available to it. That's what flex 1 does. Okay, and then we just got one more bit of style to add in this part, and that's just padding left, and there's going to be var, and then just that spacing one again, so dash spacing, which is that consistent spacing we've used. You see how this is starting to become useful? We're making sure that all of the spacing is the same. It's a consistent space just by using this variable. Okay, let's style the actual text area itself now. So what we're going to do is say text area container text area, so text area. So we're styling the text area element, so there's no dot before that or anything. We're styling the text area element, which is inside of the text area container div. So we're going to say width is going to be 100%, so it will take up the full width of the container, which it's doing now. We want to get rid of that ugly border, so we'll say border none. We don't want that. And then what I'm also going to do is get rid of this little resize thing right here. Text areas come with a resize, what do you want to call it, a button? I don't know what you want to call that. But if you drag on it, you can resize a text area. So what we're going to do is say resize is going to be none. And it should get rid of that button. So now they can't resize this. What else are we going to do? We're going to change the font size as well. So font size is going to be 19 pixels. Oh man. PX for pixels, and you can see, man, I suck at this. 19 pixels, so you can see it's made the font a bit bigger. All right, so that's looking good. Let's copy all that across to our CSS file now. I have nightmares about accidentally refreshing the page. The worst is when I go to click onto the page to check something, and then I accidentally click on a link, and it just goes to that page. I've lost all my style. Yeah, so it's a good habit to get into, copying and pasting the style across regularly. So if I refresh the page now, you should still see the style we had, which you do. So, okay, great. The text area is looking good. Let's go ahead and style the button itself. So, what was that called? I think it had an ID. Did it? Let's see. Yeah, ID submit post button. So let's go ahead and style that. So in here, we're going to target the element with the ID. So we're doing a £, not a dot. Make sure you get that right. Submit post button like that. Okay, so submit post button. We're going to make it blue. So we'll say background color is going to be, now we can use the variable we had above for blue, which is the same blue we did when we did this navbar icon at the top. We'll then say color, which is the text color, is going to be white. So you can write white or $FFF, whichever you want. We'll then say border is going to be none. We'll get rid of that border as well, which you can see it has done. Great. We'll then say border radius is going to be 40 pixels, so it's quite rounded. But then let's also make this a bit bigger, so we'll just add some padding. Padding is going to be 7px on the top and bottom, and then on the left and right we'll do 15 pixels. So yeah, that's looking good. I think that's looking the same as we had it. I have it in here. Yep, it's the same thing. I have it disabled though. So when you start typing, it will go to an enabled state and the style will change. But when it's disabled, it's a different style. So what we can do is address that now as well. So we can style again the submit post button. But what we're going to do is say : disabled. And now this means that it will apply this style when the button itself is disabled. So I think the button currently is disabled. Let me just check. Yeah, see this this disabled attribute right there? This means that the button is actually disabled. It doesn't look disabled right now, but it is. So all we're going to do when it's disabled is change the background color. So we'll change the background color, and I think I created another variable for this. So what I'll do is I'll scroll up to the top, and we'll create a new variable right there. We'll say -- blue light, like this, blue light, and then the color of that, I have it written down right here, is 9 BD and then 1 F9, like this. So the reason I'm calling it blue light and not light blue is because I'm actually going to move this underneath the blue one, just so it's a bit more organized. Keep all the same colors together, or the variations of colors, I should say, so all the blues can stay together, for example. But anyway, the reason I'm calling it blue light and not light blue is so that it's easier to search for. If you want to just search for it, let's say I was looking for this color, I knew it was blue something, or I knew it's one of the blues I use on my site. I can just say -- blue, and it will show all the blues afterwards. So the naming convention I'm using is we're starting with whatever the color is, and then the description afterwards. So blue light, blue dark, or something like that. So blue light is the color I'm using for the disabled button. And what we can do to check that it works, and it wouldn't apply this when it's not disabled, we can go back to the Elements tab. I can double click on this element here and get rid of the disabled attribute. So press backspace to get rid of it, and then click away. And it should, which it has, gone to a non-disabled state, and you've seen the other style kick in. So you no longer see the disabled style. But what I'll do is take all that, copy it, and go back to my CSS file and paste it in there, and then we should be good to go. So yeah, it's gone disabled again, of course, because we haven't enabled it. But it's looking good. We've got a post form.